We are doing the Kansas City Chiefs. Not many draft picks to talk about here, but they made some interesting selections overall, starting off with linebacker Nick Bolton from Missouri.
Yeah, well, first of all, I think their draft was made when they traded for Orlando Brown right before the draft. I mean, fills the need. They hope at left tackle. They really almost reshaped their entire offensive line in the offseason. Trade for Orlando Brown, signed 𝗬𝗢𝗨𝗧𝗨𝗕𝗘 to a huge contract, bring in Austin Blythe. And watching the Super Bowl, that offensive line was an issue. So I think their draft needs, basically, on the offensive line were addressed beforehand with that trade. Nick Bolton is a good system fit. He's a pursuit linebacker. Good speed, sideline to sideline. A little bit small, but doesn't play small football at all, that's for sure. He's a guy who will sell out, make plays. Needs a little work in coverage, needs a little work making plays in reverse, but someone who can up the field or sideline to sideline, get to the spot and take down the ball handler, which is what they're looking for.
Yeah, and then, right at the end of the second round, Creed Humphrey, the Oklahoma center, were you surprised to see him still on the board here?
Yeah, absolutely. I thought that at times Creed Humphrey was and should have been was getting first round mention or first round consideration by teams, which he deserved. The fact that the Kansas City Chiefs got him late in round 2 is just highway robbery. I mean, he's a perfect fit for the system. He's a guy who was a terrific center for Oklahoma 3 years running. He's a zone blocking guy who's got good size, just needs to finish his game. Listen, 2 years down the road, I fully expect Creed Humphrey to be a productive starting center for the Kansas City Chiefs. And again, another building block for their offensive line, not just for 2021, but for 2022 up to 2028, blocking for Patrick Mahomes. Good for them.
Yeah, I mean, it's really amazing to see the turnaround that they were able to complete in that offensive line in just one offseason after getting rid of both of their starting offensive tackles. After that draft selection, they didn't pick again on day 2, and in round 4, they went with Joshua kándō, the Florida State defensive end.
Yeah, I mean, most of their day 3 picks are projections, developmental type guys. kándō is a developmental pass rusher. You're going to use him. He's very athletic, but he has an unpolished game. He's got to get a little bit bigger. He's got to get a little bit stronger. More importantly, he's got to consistently play at a high level. Has got a great amount of upside, and I'm sure that's what the Chiefs hope to tap into.
Yeah, and then they made 2 fifth-round selections in tight end Noah Gray from Duke and wide receiver Cornell Powell from Clemson.
Gray's a good fit for that system. I mean, he is a move tight end type of player at that spot. He's someone you put in motion before the snap. He's a good pass catcher. Did not have the season that people projected. I mean, coming into the year, scouts projected him as a top 75 choice. Really never played to it. Not the fastest guy in the world, but very reliable. Their other pick in that round, Cornell Powell. Cornell Powell, no one knew who he was coming into the season. He was not even listed by scouts. And then he hooks up with Trevor Lawrence, has a breakout year. I mean, he was sensational in that Clemson offense. Developed himself to the point where he got a draftable grade. I mean, you're looking at maybe a number 5 receiver, not the fastest guy in the world, but someone who's very consistent and someone whose game is on the upswing.
Yeah, and then they ended their draft off by going with Trey Smith, somebody who, just from a play standpoint, I feel like could have went a lot higher, but there was obviously the health concerns with him.
The contrast is amazing because I just said that Cornell Powell was not even listed by scouts coming into the 2020 season. Well, Trey Smith was the highest graded senior prospect, bar none. I mean, regardless of position, Trey Smith was far and away graded as the number 1 NFL prospect by scouts before the 2020 season began. He falls into the 6th round because of the medical concerns, the blood clots, which sidelined Smith early in his NFL career. Fact is this, Trey Smith is healthy. This is going to be one of the steals of the draft. He's a guy who deserved to be, from a play point of view, second to go in the 2nd round. It's amazing. Landon Dickerson, with all those health issues and the fact that he was never able to stay healthy, goes in the 2nd round. Trey Smith, who missed 1 season, has got some blood clot, more medical issues, goes in the 6th round. I put my money on Smith.
And then for their UDFA signings, who really stood out to you, Tony?
They signed Shane Buechele, the quarterback from SMU, who I really like a lot. I got Anthony Gordon in there as a free agent as well. I could absolutely see Andy Reid working his magic on 𝗬𝗢𝗨𝗧𝗨𝗕 and 𝗬𝗢𝗨𝗧𝗨 making the Kansas City roster as the third quarterback.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Tony, for stopping by once again and talking about the Kansas City Chiefs, who, despite everybody saying doom and gloom after they got rid of their tackles, rebuilt their offensive line in just one offseason. Never count out an Andy Reid coached football team.